All right, good evening and welcome to the SIMS Metal Virtual Public Information Session for the Claremont Terminal Facility located in Jersey City, New Jersey. My name is Eric Helders, EHS Partner for the East Region, and joining me is Mr. Mike Troupin, Director of Air Programs. We have prepared a short PowerPoint presentation outlining areas of the facility which are currently permitted and new permit applications which have been submitted. At the conclusion of the presentation, we will accept comments and questions. Additional questions and comments will be accepted by email at smm.permit.claremont@simsmm.com or by phone at 201-577-3101. All questions will be answered in writing after the closing of the comment period on February the 10th. And here we go again.
Eric,
Video.
can you hear it on your computer, Eric?
That wasn't playing?
No. Can you hear it at all on your side?
I hear it. It's playing like normal. And it worked when I tested it at the office.
Apologies for the technical difficulties. Just bear with us for one moment.
We have any IT specialists?
It's weird that you can hear it and we can't hear it on our end.
All right, I guess I'm going to walk you through it.
Yeah, Eric, that's the best way to do it. Just put the presentation up and then speak over the presentation. That's fine.
Nope, not a problem. All right, so again, this is the SIMS Metal Claremont facility in Jersey City, New Jersey. We are located at the Claremont Terminal off of State Route 185 and Linden Avenue East, adjacent to the Greenville Yards. The meeting is intended to ensure meaningful community engagement relative to NJDEP Environmental Justice Administration Administrative Order 2021-25. Notices of this session was provided at least 30 days ago. The public comment period will end 30 days from today. An opportunity for questions will be provided at the end of the session. The session will last from 6 to 8 if necessary. SIMS Claremont facility is part of the Jersey City community. We have a positive impact on the economy and the community. Most of our customers live within the community. 80% of the facility employees live locally. It is a clean and safe place for local residents to sell their scrap, and I'm going to do it this way because it is set to automatically move. The facility donates to local coat and holiday toy drives. Facility hosts local fire departments every weekend to help them with their trainings. We hire local businesses and support the community at a local level. Metal recycling provides a major environmental benefit. The facility must be viable long-term from a safety, environmental, financial, and operational standpoint. We provide a valuable service to our local community. We provide an alternative to landfilling. We offer local, stable employment as well and well-paying green jobs. We all benefit from recycled material. Recycling reduces the quantity of steel and other metals to make new products. Recycling reduces greenhouse gas emissions and saves energy by lessening the need for natural resource extraction and processing. Recycling. One car reduces greenhouse emissions by 8,800 pounds. One refrigerator reduces greenhouse emissions by 566 pounds. Almost 40% of the world's steel and copper is produced from recycled metals. Recycling steel uses 75% less energy to process the same amount of metal as iron ore. Recycling aluminum uses as much as 95% less energy. Recycling one aluminum soda can saves enough energy to power a 60-watt bulb for 4 hours. Recycling metal is crucial to preserving iron ore. Recycling a ton of steel saves 2,500 pounds of iron ore, as well as 1,400 pounds of coal and 120 pounds of limestone. The facility has had continued shredding operations since about the late 60s. Operationally, we are approximately 60 acres. We collect recycled materials to produce recycled metal for sale to steel mills and smelters. The facility ships recycling metal globally. This facility serves the community by accepting the following types of metals: end-of-life vehicles, appliances and other light gauge metals, we call light iron, non-ferrous metals like aluminum, chairs, copper, pipe, etc., and other ferrous metals like rebar. Recyclable materials at Claremont: end-of-life vehicles, which are drained of all fluids, batteries, mercury switches prior to shredding. Copper, aluminum, brass, non-ferrous, and other heavier gauge recyclable steel materials like plate and structural. Here we have used beverage cans, aluminum sheet, copper wire, stainless steel, the heavier gauge steels, copper, light iron, and vehicles. So we have spent a lot of time on our traffic flow plan, making certain that everybody who comes into the Claremont terminal has a safe way to move around, especially in our peddler yard, which is right here. Facility permits and registrations. We have a business license. We have a general stormwater permit. We have fire department certificates. We have a shredder and ferrous recovery air permit, PCP 120002. Non-ferrous metal separation plant, general permit 22001. We have one for emergency generators, for our metal shear, and for our metals recovery plant. Pending permit activities for this is our end-of-life vehicle processing. That is where we take what we call wet cars and we remove the fluids from them, batteries, mercury switches, tires, etc. Our metal shredder emission capture and control permit, modification to existing metal shredder, allows SIMS to proceed with the installation of an emission capture system, state-of-the-art emissions controls, particulate matter control with a cyclone and venturi scrubber, VOCs through an RTO, and a acid gas formed at the RTO caustic scrubber. Additionally, we have a material handling operation permit, proactive permitting of existing site activities, material handling, loading, unloading, things like that. At our end-of-life vehicle processing, we use equipment specifically designed for clean and efficient removal of fluids. We capture all fluids and have them recycled. We adhere to strict rules for the closed system recovery of automobile refrigerants. the AC system. Vehicle liquids, tires, batteries, and various other items are removed for proper disposal. Depollutes the vehicle so that it can be shredded in environmentally responsible manner, allowing for the recovery of various metals. The shredder emission controls. The metal recycling industry has in recent years gained insight into shredder VOC emission potential. The metal shredders were previously considered sources of fugitive emissions, not stack emissions. The proposed design of an emission capture system consistent with EPA methodologies. The application for the installation of the state-of-the-art emission controls includes the Cyclone and Venturi scrubber, which provides 95% control of particulate matter. The RTO, which provides 95% control of VOC emissions, and the caustic scrubber, which provides 90% control of acid gases formed within the RTO. The material handling operations, proactive permitting of source activity that was historically exempt from permitting, related to the on-site movement and handling, loading and unloading of various materials, including ferrous and non-ferrous metals, typically involve the use of grapples, loaders, and some mobile equipment. Material handling operation emissions are considered fugitive particulate emissions, dust. Metal Recovery Plant, or MRP, was completed in 2018. The non-ferrous metal recovery plant utilizes various technologies, eddy currents, magnets, screens, and sorters to separate non-ferrous materials to sell for use in recycled products. Non-ferrous metals predominantly include copper and aluminum. Mixed products from the metal shredder, after the steel is removed, serve as an in-feed material at the MRP. Majority of the MRP equipment is located indoors. Any outdoor equipment is covered. You can see in the photo here. The Zorba separation plant was also completed in 2018. It utilizes the same basic technologies, eddy currents, magnets, screens, and sorters to further separate aluminum to make it more pure. Zorba is the name of the mixed recycled metal comprised predominantly of aluminum. All the ZSP equipment is located indoors. The metal shear is utilized to resize larger items to make them safe for transport. The recycled steel is processed as a shear, is generally too thick to do by mobile shears. Our emergency generators, we have two, an 11 mmB BUT per hour CAT and a 1 MMBTU whisper watt. The CAT is used to power the main office building during power outages, and the whisper watt for the changing rooms for our employees. The main one was run for approximately 49 hours last year. The peddler yard is where we allow the community to sell recyclable metals back to SIMS. We accept ELVs, end-of-life vehicles, appliances, light iron, and heavier gauge steel, and recyclable non-ferrous items like copper, aluminum, and brass. Mike, are you still on?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Yeah, the intent of this slide is really just to show the facility-wide potential to emit.
You there, Mike?
Can you hear me right now?
You have the opportunity to make a little more sense of this than I would. Be greatly appreciated.
Eric, can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me?
Mike, I can hear you. This is Dave
Okay,
Capiangelo,
guess not.
DEP. I can hear you, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
So
Wait, Eric,
what this
Eric,
basically shows is that all of
Eric.
our potential to emit are far below all relative standards that are applicable for our business.
Eric.
Our
Eric,
stormwater and management flow plan, we capture most of our stormwater in a concrete lined set pond located in this area here. We try to hold as much as possible. We are currently looking at being able to hold even more. We're going to increase the volume. We use the site best management practices. We utilize water spray as needed to minimize dust on the property. Most of the property is paved, so it is impervious surface, regularly wet swept. We have prohibited material signage at all the scales. We do meticulous load inspections to make sure that nothing goes through the shredder that should not go through. Fluids are removed from all end-of-life vehicles, spill kits in permit designated areas, and routine maintenance of stormwater conveyance structures at a minimum monthly, if not more. These are some videos of, well, the community, which you can't hear, so I can't really speak to them. They were quite flattering, I'll say. That is what I have for you guys. Is there any questions that we need to take down?
Eric, can you hear us right now? There we go. Eric, can you hear us now?
I can. Tell me I went through that whole thing and nobody heard me.
We all heard you, but you didn't hear us talking. So I was chiming in, but I think we're in a good place now.
Of course we are. I had to turn that down because the video was playing in the background of the slideshow.
I gotcha.
Can I ask a very quick question?
Sure can.
Hi, this is Lisa. I'm wondering what the status of your permit application is. The last I saw on the link to your website there, that was with the public notice, there was the initial application, and I'm talking about the shredder, not the yard. And then there was a response to New Jersey DEP comments. And that was
as of right now, the application that you're speaking of is pending with the DEP.
So have you submitted the risk screening yet?
We haven't been requested to submit a risk screening at this time.
Okay.
It will be coming.
Yeah, I based on the submittal, it will be. But thank you.
Thank you.
Eric, I saw from David Pepe's comment there. Did you have any questions?
I think
Talking
Maggie
to
has her
Eric
hand
Meyer?
up.
No,
Yes.
nope, I'm living the dream.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Just listening. Thank you.
I won't say that this went off without a hitch, but
Well,
Eric,
it's informative and honest.
Eric, Maggie has her hand up right now.
yeah, go ahead, Maggie. What can I do for you?
Yeah, hi. Thank you for holding this. It was really informative. I'm a resident of Jersey City. My name is Maggie Broughton. And I am generally aware of scrap metal shredding facilities and some hazards that they can entail. And I know that there's been a history of fires at this site as well as other ones, not just of SIMS metal, but, around the state. So I'm just wondering, after those fires, what steps SIMS took to reduce the chances of those fires, whether or not there's still metal shredder fluff stored at the site, and whether or not those are enclosed, or what you've done to kind of make the facility a bit safer and prevent fires in the future.
Maggie, that's a great question, and thank you very much for that. We are taking a transcript of this call, and so I do apologize. Myself and Eric want to make sure we pull the proper folks in to answer questions like that. And so what we will do is we will take the transcript and record your questions, and then provide a response to those questions by the end of the comment period.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, thank you for the question.
Could I ask another question as well?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So with your practices, I'm mostly focused on the end of life vehicles, which I assume, like, I have my own car. I drive, it drove a lot before I moved to Jersey, but cars have like plastics and fabrics in the seats, and you mentioned mercury switches and fluids. So I'm wondering so my understanding is that cars come to you in their entirety, right? Like without like the tires removed or the metal switches removed. So that's something that SIMS does at this facility and is kind of part of like the overall practice. Is that correct?
We do.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike. What were you going to say?
I was going to say is it really depends. There's no straight rule as far as if we receive a given vehicle that has everything that you mentioned or not. The critical thing is that we depollute the vehicles that we do receive. But what we'll do again is we'll give you more insight into a response in that question as we talk to the ops folks and get kind of their clear guidance and policies as far as what they do with different vehicles that arrive.
Okay, thank you. That would be excellent. And I think I just have one more. I noticed that a lot of your facilities are enclosed, like a lot of the separation machinery that you have, which I think is great. Are you legally required to do that, or did you just kind of install like the enclosed mechanisms on your own volition?
I'll say it like this. I'll say we will provide a more comprehensive answer, but my understanding from a regulatory perspective is that no, I don't believe it was a legal requirement to be indoors with those operations. But please understand that when we give you a formal response through our written response, we'll make sure that we have a clear follow-up on that. But my understanding is that no, that is not a regulatory requirement.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for being engaged in the process. We appreciate it. Any other questions from folks?
Tony?
Nope, no questions for me.
Okay. Dave, do you have anything? Dave Pepe?
I do not. I appreciate you presenting this in the spirit of the EJ law and complying with the AO and going through all the hiccups here. So I really do appreciate your patience and providing this to the community.
I do apologize to everybody for the hiccups. I will make sure I have to get that straightened up before the next one. The first one I did worked out just fine, but we made it work. I appreciate everybody for coming tonight. And please, if you do have any further questions that occur to you after this is complete, please feel free to send an email to the email address at the start of the presentation. You all have it. It's the same one that you emailed to get the link. There was also a phone number attached to that. And we will get written responses back to everybody. I will also leave the last slide up with the contact information for you for the next 10 or so minutes, and that will be that. Can everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
I see it.
Okay, so I will leave this up for a little while. You can take down whatever information you need. And again, feel free to ask as many questions as necessary, and we will get you a written response.
And thank you so much for everyone's time today. Very much appreciated.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Great job.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Dave.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, I just wanted to briefly touch base. I intentionally waited till the other people were off and I logged back on my computer. I was at an appointment. I wanted to ask you something. It's off the record. You don't have to respond to this in your reply. One of the things I was very fascinated by in the response to DEP was the VOC emission factors. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
So the really interesting thing was, I tried to use your Rhode Island emission factors and they would not allow me.
Lisa,
Because,
Lisa, are you with a consulting firm?
yes, I am. I'm actually with Tetra Tech and I've also been permitting several of these in New Jersey.
Lisa, I would be more than happy to talk to you about this. I am about as knee deep in this subject as you could possibly be. Is there a way that maybe in the chat you can provide me with your email address and I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Oh,
And
sure,
we could set up a time.
sure.
We could set up a time to talk. We have a transcript running right now, and
Oh,
rather than getting
okay.
into the deep technical issues right now, I'd love to
Okay,
talk
yes,
to you offline about it.
and I didn't think the deep technical issues were really good for the public, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it. Sure. Yeah, put your email in the chat, and I'll certainly reach out to you tomorrow. We can talk about it.
Okay,
And I could talk about all the folks I know at Tetra Tech, which we could share.
okay, no, that's great. I put it in the chat, and
Excellent.
I will not be commenting.
Sounds good. I will.
I just,
will give you a call
I
tomorrow.
know when people have asked me for my public meeting materials, you always wonder, oh no, but strictly informational on my part. So I just definitely wanted to let you know that. But I put my email in the chat, and yeah, well, no, we can chat.
Would love to. I will reach out tomorrow. In fact, I'm just going to send you an email right now so you have my contact info.
Okay, sounds very, very good. I appreciate you letting me join the meeting.
Well, I appreciate you joining, Lisa.
And these are going to get trickier and trickier as time goes on. So, anyways,
Well,
I
you
will
can
let
see
you.
we're still working the bugs out.
Well, once the regulations in, we're going to be doing this whole crazy analysis for an air permit.
Because I'm on transcript right now, I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
No, that sounds good, but we will all get through this. Well, you have a very good night.
You too. Thank you
too.
so much.
Do you see my contact?
I do. I have it.
Okay, very good. Well, you have a good night, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. You too.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
All right, well, thank you very much. I hope the DEP is happy with the product we produced today. And we will get this over to you, Dave Pepe, to review. Thank you and have a good night.